Hey guys, welcome back. This is Pure Evo here. I do have my guests, of course, and they are...
Lawful Evo.
Chaotic Evo.
Welcome back, guys, to our gaming talk show. Today's subject is Diablo, as you can see, as our figures here. And we'll be talking about the game archetypes and basically, of course, which Chaotic likes and what Lawful likes of which retro to today and now. So, which ones are you guys covering?
We're going to kind of rush through one and not cover it a lot. I'm going to be more talking about Diablo 3, the current generation.
Okay.
And I'll be talking primarily about Diablo 2.
Diablo 2, okay. And starting off here, how about both of you give me the brief of, I guess, Diablo, the first one, quick through, and then you're separate about, 2 and then 3, what it involves.
Okay, so I'll start out with the story of Diablo, and then you can go into the mechanics.
Okay.
So quick rundown for Diablo's story is that you pick one of 3 characters, you go dungeon crawling all the way to the end, and the story for it is that somebody has unleashed Diablo or Satan or some sort of mythical
Beelzebub
demon source underneath this cathedral, and you have to stop it. A bunch of skeletons, things like that. You got the old man that shares his wisdom with you, who shows up in all the rest of the different games.
Right.
Very little story in this one. It's mainly hack and slash, but there was a little bit of story, and they focused mainly on the main character, I guess, is the warrior that you could choose to play as.
Right.
And they kind of just forgot about the archer and the mage and the monk from the other game. That's not part of continuity.
Right.
And so the warrior at the end, when these creatures die, when Diablo dies, when his brothers die, they leave soul stones behind.
Right.
And then when you smash him into your head, you consume that soul, and he becomes part of you. And if you've got enough willpower, apparently, you can overpower it. And that leads into Diablo 2, which I'll talk about here in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the mechanics, like you said, it is pure hack and slash gameplay. It's point and click with a mouse, hotkeys, etc. for potions, abilities. I don't remember in the first game how many abilities each class had.
Oh god, it was pretty much it's straight off like left and right click, but it was pretty much like 1 or 2 each. It really wasn't a whole
you could set one to the mouse. You basically had basic attack and then whatever special attack you had down to your mouse.
Right.
But it's point and click for movement, attacking, etc. Easy time killer in that sense, because you can be doing something else and multitasking and just click away with one hand, not having to do a ton of dexterity and fast motions, etc. Yeah, if you're getting swarmed, you're going to have to react a little quicker, but it's not as fast-paced as, say, a first-person shooter or a fighting game.
The reason why it really got picked up was it was really the first dungeon crawler of its kind. You see a bunch of clones nowadays with Torchlight, which was made by the Blizzard North, the people that made the original Diablo.
Yeah.
But you got a couple others that are pretty much just exact clones.
Yep.
But it was neat in the time that you could just go through dungeon after dungeon, just hordes and hordes of enemies come down upon you.
Get unique gear, gold, find goodies.
Yeah, without actually having to level up your character like the traditional D&D style.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Without the grind that old turn-based RPGs had either.
Right, no, that makes sense. So, okay, that's the mechanics base, and so moving on to the next step, I guess...
Number 2.
Diablo 2. So Diablo 2 consists of both Diablo 2, the core game, and Laud, or Lord of Destruction, which is the expansion. And so the story premise, and then I'll let you go into mechanics for it, is the story for Diablo 2 is that you got a whole new crop of characters that have their own personal fight. That was the first real change from the original Diablos. They all have their own crazy-ass backstory that you only found out from talking to like merchants and other people that are in the towns. And so you got to pick your character. You kind of felt like it was really just like you're telling your own story for your character going through this. And so I had two favorites really at the time, and it was the Necromancer and the Amazon. That's because I was 14 at the time. The Amazon had just gigantic knockers.
Huge plots of land.
Huge. Just it was. Oh my goodness.
The pixel rate couldn't handle it.
I still get aroused thinking of her. Just huge Charlie Boner.
I believe it.
Pixelated tits, man.
Huge.
Anyway, not really the point. So you had the Barbarian, you had the Necromancer, you had the Amazon, you had the Paladin, you had the Druid, you had the Assassin, and I think that's it.
That sounds about the list around, yeah.
And so it didn't really matter which one you chose. Realistically, overarching story-wise, you had your own unique niche in the story, but the overarching story was the same.
Yeah.
And that was there were 5 acts in the original, and then they added four acts in the original, and then the 5th act was added after the fact. And you went to 5 different locations, fighting off hordes of enemies. Again, very original Diablo style, lots of hack and slash.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really the point. Each act would be brought in with a cinematic that told the story.
Right.
And it was just an absolutely unique story. It was you were on the tail of the warrior from the first game who had smashed Diablo's soulstone into his head and was trying super, super hard to retain that demon inside of him.
Contain it, yeah.
Yeah, but everywhere he went, just demons and skeletons and fire and corruption followed him everywhere he went, and so you had to stop everything that he was unleashing all the way up, and you're just like, dude, just stop where you are, we'll come get you. We'll fucking put you in a bed and fucking take care.
I know you're drunk, the Uber is on its way.
Stop.
Yeah.
And so you're following him, and you're just very unsuccessful. And it just keeps like amping up. There's just, man, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Like following a meth addict. They're cleaning the place, but they're not doing a good job. It's just fucking. So anyway, again, there's an archangel named Tyrael, and he was my absolute favorite character in that entire story arc. Archangel that comes down that says, "Fuck you, God, I'm not fucking paying attention to your rules anymore because they're forbidden to help out humans." And he comes down, and he doesn't help out directly, but he's like, dude, you got to get here, and you got to get here now. He's like kind of telling you where the warrior's at. And at the very end, he sacrifices himself to stop Diablo's brother, because you're not just fighting Diablo in this one.
No.
You're fighting his 2 brothers who are kind of more evil than the Diablo is, which is kind of weird. But at the same time, it was really fun. They never really go into where they came from.
No.
But
not in the second one. They did not.
I mean, I guess there's all those Diablo books that I never read, but nobody ever actually reads video game books. Nobody does that because they're terrible. But the whole thing I'm getting at is he sacrifices himself at the end. You crush the soul stones. Good to go. Save the world. Good feeling at the end. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So then, okay, that's for 2. Now we're going to go into mechanics.
The mechanics were vastly unchanged. Streamlined, though.
Okay.
The controls felt more responsive. It was easier to access your map, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Overall, on the whole, though, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the point and click certainly worked. They didn't want to try a new control scheme and make you relearn everything, which is great.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of companies that certainly have tried that between the first and second titles.
Yeah.
But overall, just really more of the same, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Okay.
It's the dungeon crawling you grew to love and expect, with the varied classes that play slightly different, but on the whole the same, just slightly different abilities.
Okay, that works. And so now we're going to move on to 3, where that's your range of, what it's about. Storyline from Kalak or you?
I'll take story. So Diablo 3's story takes over from Diablo 2. It's again years later, yet Deckard Cain's still fucking there.
Yeah, but he has a granddaughter now.
Yeah, he's got a granddaughter.
So he's a bit older.
Right.
He's fully gray now, as opposed to some gray streaks.
Right, and I was like, dude, he was already like 80 in the first game.
Yeah.
How this guy fucking ages well.
Yeah. But hey, he gets
It's the Mother Teresa of
Right.
the Blizzard universe.
Spoiler alert, though, he does die finally.
It's not actually spoilers, dude.
Yes.
It's like 10 years after the game came out.
Yeah.
We move on. It's not actually been 10 years. Anyway, so it's not actually
4.
his... 4?
Yeah. We're sitting at 4.
2012, May 15th, so almost 4.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. So, need to note that it wasn't actually his granddaughter. He just kind of took her...
Yes.
Took her in because she's actually the daughter of the warrior from the first one and the witch. And the witch wasn't a character, really, in the first Diablo. She was a merchant.
Correct.
That sold you potions. All right, but she was a witch, and she was on the outside of town, and you weren't supposed to talk
In
to
her
her.
little hut.
Yeah. And you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool. But so they added more to her story, which was neat. Gave her a daughter because she fucked the warrior, and it kind of just added like a hee-hee. They were doing it in Diablo 1, and that's where the daughter comes from.
Yeah.
Which is what everybody was saying anyway, if you played the warrior, that you were doing the witch because she was the hottest one in the
first game.
Yep.
Because you could actually see her tits hanging out, so it's, I mean...
There you go. Here we go again.
Everything's about tits.
It's boobs.
Wow.
The world is boobs.
So, anyway, so she's the daughter, and she's hanging out with Deckard Cain because the witch is fucking gone. She's nobody knows where the fuck she is, if she died or fucking what. And then, obviously, the warrior's dead because he turned into Diablo in Diablo 2. So she doesn't have any parents, and so Deckard Cain takes her on. And the story progresses... that some sort of thing has fallen out of the fucking sky, some sort of meteorite, into the original cathedral from Diablo 1. There's a lot of Diablo 1 references.
Yes.
They expand on the story from the original, and the original, again, didn't really have a story.
No. Bits and pieces of lore you could find, that was about it.
Right, absolutely. So... The original town was called Tristram, and so they kind of just built on top of it. And so Tristram is another thing that showed up in all 3 games. In the first one, it was the town you stayed in the entire game.
Yep.
In the second one, it was burned to the fucking ground, and you had to save Deckard Cain from it. It was all burnt to hell. And in the third one, they built on the ruins of that and created New Tristram, and that's where you start out at.
Right.
So the game progresses, and again, a very familiar style, and that's not a bad thing. It's, to me. But it's the story goes that you're following around, trying to track what this thing fell down from the sky, and it turns out it's Tyrael from Diablo 2. And they don't really explain how he went from sacrificing himself at the end of Diablo 2 to going up back to heaven and then falling back down to earth.
Till the expansion.
They
did,
Yes, they
finally then.
Good.
But base game of 3, you're right. They
Right.
left that a
It's
mystery.
just straight bam, boom, here we go.
Which I'm
We're
sure
back.
a million people complained about. That's why the expansion was
Right,
about
absolutely. But I mean, that's what expansions are for.
Yeah.
To expand.
Yeah.
That's why they in fact call them expansions.
To expand and close your flawed plot holes.
So when I get to friggin' Reaper Souls, I'm gonna have you take over for story because I never actually played it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's not too hard.
I own it, but I'm not ready to be hurt again.
That's fair.
So anyway, the story continues, and then you find Tyrael. He is no longer an archangel.
He is human.
He is human now, and here's my first real big problem with the story is that they give him a face. He didn't have a face before. He was just shrouded with the hood.
Which looked great.
Yeah, it was great. It was fucking intimidating. It was fucking full of action, and I loved him. And then he takes off the hood, and he's generic black guy number 4, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Doesn't remember who he is. I know who he is, but that's not fucking Tyrael. That's not... It's generic black dude 4.
Yeah, which is fair.
And I don't have a problem with him being a black dude. I just have a problem with him fucking taking his hood off in general.
Yeah, it's just ordinary person. You were a lot cooler with your hood up.
Right.
Not that you're ugly or pretty, not at all. Just
just
bam.
fucking keep the fucking hood up, dude.
Yeah.
You were more...
That was your persona.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, dude. And I'm a white guy.
There you go. And then continuing on the
I'm
story.
a real racist.
And moving on to the story. So basically now we're going to move to the mechanics for just 3, not the...
Yeah, the mechanics of 3, again, I sound like a broken record, mostly unchanged. In this case, though, we did finally have some new ideas to add to the formula.
Yeah, there's more like trees, like you would say, kind of in a way.
Forest thickened out.
Yeah, it blossomed.
Became an actual forest as opposed to Bob Ross painting some shit.
That's
with just the base game of 3, we finally got a new class that felt like a new class. It was named after one of the uncanon Diablo 1 expansion characters, the monk. But playstyle was finally fresh and unfamiliar, at least at launch.
Right.
I didn't play him a ton post-launch and patches. They may have slowly tweaked him into something more resembling the old monk.
He was a badass when he first
came out. At launch he was nuts.
He was just overpowered.
Broke as fuck.
Yeah. He was overpowered. They had to patch him down.
But then with the expansion, we got some more neat new features, like is it adventure mode it's called?
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember?
Mode.
And the bounties?
Yep, and bounties.
But essentially extending the replayability past just run through the axe one more time on a higher difficulty, like the past games.
Yeah, and then basically we got, one extra character, but not really an extra character. It kind of pulls back to number 1.
The Crusader.
The Crusader, which is basically all in all out the Paladin. Beyond belief.
And then in recent times we've added the seasons, which add new seasonal drops.
Yeah, for the ladders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because 2 is where that started at for ladders. And people, again, like me, I got disappointed, too hyped about the fact that, ladders, okay, maybe I'm going to do it right this time. Maybe it'll be better than the last one. But no, 2 has it. It'll always be there for them.
Yeah.
I always loved 2 ladders because that's where it was at.
But yeah, mechanics-wise, core basically unchanged. They just added a lot that fed into replayability.
Yeah, replayability.
And gave you a reason to play it past the...
Would you say from 3, from what I've learned since I've played quite a bit of it, is the fact that it was more what strategy? Is it more strategy based? The reason I say that is the fact of your class type. Say, okay, I'm using a barbarian. He has a certain. What kind of barbarian are you? Because like in 2, it wasn't like that. It was more, this is what you do. This is your moveset. Go.
It's barbarian. You have these skills. Yeah. I mean, yes and no on the strategy.
Right.
There are some more elements because obviously, like you said, now it's which build is your barbarian.
Yeah, you're not just I'm just barbarian hack and slash.
Yeah,
you
between
also
that
have the female male that you can.
And
gender that means anything.
No,
it doesn't.
But and the Paragon levels too.
Yeah, like going above a 60 or
and getting that stat boost with a new character. And etc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it added layers to the strategy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it made it more strategic.
Okay, that's fair.
Or more strategy based. It just gave you more options.
Hack and slash is hack and slash at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's click until something explodes into treasure.
Right. It's not so much like your turn-based RPGs where you can plan and tech out.
Yeah.
It's not even like fighting games where it's like if you've got movesets that will work.
Spacing and everything like that.
Yeah. Because you can't block, really. Like, you can block in Diablo 2 and 3, but, I mean, it's not something that you really use.
No.
So I would say that. It's a hack and slash. So there's really zero strategy to it.
Yeah, that's why I went out from both, both sides for that. Okay. And so, basically, we're going to expansions, and we're moving through. So, basically... between both of you, 2 and 3, is there advantages or disadvantages to both of them? Like, why would 2 want to be the advantage to 3? Did it grow up, or was it just the same exact same thing?
I don't think that's really a fair question to say because where I'm coming from is both of them have their own really niche market.
Yes. Their niches. Okay.
Yeah. So Diablo 2 was primarily focused on telling a story that they didn't get to tell in Diablo
the first
1.
Game. Yeah.
Okay.
It was, we created this sweet ass world, but we didn't tell a story with it. Let's concentrate on world building this time around.
Right. And so they spent almost all of their time on building 5 completely different areas, brand new characters with movesets that you've never seen before.
And names you'd actually remember.
And names that you'd remember. And it was really just, like I said, telling all about the story. But the problem with doing that is that your mechanics take a hit.
Yeah.
And that would be something I would say that Diablo 3 tried to fix.
Yes.
Yeah. So 1 was basically introduction. Hey, this is what we want to try. Do you like it?
One was somebody had this great concept. We're going to publish it. It became a hit. Okay, what could we have done better if we had made this rather than just published it?
Yeah, and then 2 was the base of the story flourished more,
Yes.
and then 3
The world was built. It gave you a reason to give a shit about these characters, and especially like in the case of Deckard Cain, like I knew him from the first one. I don't think I knew his name until number 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was just the old dude.
That old dude in the town. He was the same as fucking, like the fucking blacksmith or the fucking the witch. What was her name? Akara? Fucking
Ashira? I think it's Ashira.
Something.
Yeah.
I think it's Ashira.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter though. But fucking
Don't quote me on that.
But really at the end of the day, Diablo 2 was more about story versus I would say Diablo 3 is focused primarily on mechanics.
Gameplay. Yes.
Mechanics to branch them out more and do more with. And go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, and you could say that the negatives are on the same because again, freaking with Diablo 2 telling a story primarily, its mechanics failed.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that they were bad mechanics, but they weren't really refined, they weren't toned, they weren't balanced.
Whereas 3, concentrating on the mechanics, story didn't necessarily bomb, but you could see it borrowed a lot heavily of its predecessors, and there wasn't a ton of originality. It suffered almost from Hollywood sequelitis in the plot department. The plot twists, etc., you saw coming.
Miles away.
It was 2D cardboard cutout set copy paste.
I mean, is there anybody in this room right now that did not see the daughter of the witch and the warrior
becoming
Diablo?
Diablo?
Yeah. No.
Anybody out there? Did you not see that coming?
Yeah. If you didn't, let us know in the comments if you think that you didn't see it coming.
If so,
you should have.
If so, I've heard there are Olympics made just for you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, look, right here. See these
Yeah, I mean, they sexed her up.
Right there.
She's got curves.
Curves and boobs.
So,
and it's just like, what am I supposed to do with it? Am I supposed to? Like, can you imagine fucking that?
Well, I mean, I could because she's got 4 hands. That'd be amazing.
I mean, she's a strong, independent demon that don't need no man.
She could cut my butt, finger the butthole, and grab the balls all at once.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I'd make an Antichrist with that Diablo.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm cool with it.
She's all sorts of handsy.
Yeah. There you go. All the hands.
And
jazz hands.
Now we've been racist and sexist in this same.
Yeah.
And
they're both from me.
Yeah, but I went Special Olympics.
Yeah.
So we're
good. We've covered all angles for that.
We're
so basically, let's go. What if? So coming, say, past the patch and where we're at is more mechanics, even with the new on for 3 for Reaper of Souls. Let's say 4 comes out. What would you guys? You don't have to argue. What would you expect to make it good gameplay for you guys? Like I can tell there's a little story here. Chaotic, you like the storyline. That's why it sold you for playing the game and you had fun. And then Davis is he liked mechanics too, but storyline's still there. So what do you guys think for if 4 came out? What it needs to be?
What 4 needs to be is the glorious god baby of 2 and 3.
Agreed. I mean,
we need to marry the pieces that are missing from each title into the other one.
I mean, this is just if we were like king for a day, at Blizzard, and this is again it's something that we do. We're telling you how to fix things, how to improve it. If there's a Blizzard guy watching, doubtful really at this point.
Yeah.
But if there's a Blizzard guy watching, what you need to do is we've seen that how to, well, at least Blizzard North did. You fired them. Good job. We've seen that Blizzard knows how to tell a good, solid story arc.
Yes.
Right.
Build worlds with characters and all that stuff. We've seen that you know how to do mechanics and polish things and even fix it after the fact and continue to polish it. All right? What he's saying is Glorious God Baby of the 2 is bring in that good storytelling with the great fucking mechanics. and it would be unfucking touchable. Fucking
Yeah, because realistically, they would have to concentrate, I think, mostly on story. Not just because they fell away from that with the most recent title, but the mechanics as a core in a point-and-click hack and slash are never really going to change.
Right.
You need some balance, some varied classes, and some options. But that's not a formula that you necessarily need to add a crap ton to.
Yeah, no, because basically it's their problems that developers, if you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, is they're more worried about the in-game features, like into the game. The story's arc's over. What else can I do? Because that's why people always
the replayability.
Yeah, replayability, which they learned via World of Warcraft.
You got it.
Yeah, and ever since then, that's what they've been trying to do. But that's the problem, is that your other two games are Warcraft and StarCraft, which are not the same thing
completely different.
as Diablo.
No, not even close.
All right, Warcraft and StarCraft are not RPG based.
Nope, not even close.
Diablo is.
Yeah,
flat out, and that's what happened when you brought on Blizzard North, is they brought on an RPG sense. They were your RPG division.
Well, and the sad part is they still obviously have that world-building storytelling team, because all three campaigns for StarCraft 2 have been cutscene-filled, story-based, and fucking glorious. So that team is still sitting somewhere at Blizzard with at least a few ideas still left in those skulls.
Well, they're not allowed to do it though,
I know.
because it's not safe, and
Right.
I know. I'm just saying they obviously have that resource still.
You need to have your code monkeys actually tell their stories again.
You need to get your storytellers up in all those other juices,
Yeah.
like a cranberry.
Yeah, exactly. What's cranberry getting all the other juices? Thanks, Brian Regan, for that joke.
No, it's true.
Oh, it's a good one though. I love that joke. But no, so what we're ideally you would see a character creator that allowed you to build your own unique character. Like have archetypes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if it's like, I want to be a paladin, but be able to design, move some armor around.
Think about this. Even further, give us 4 archetypes starting.
Sure.
That are equally well balanced and have their own unique reasons to play said classes.
Yeah.
We can work as a team, like more of a team base. Like
yes. Not necessarily like a class-based shooter, but that is a good example in the fact you're gonna do better in a class-based shooter if you have one of each class, opposed to 3 barbarians spinning in cyclones a team like on Diablo 3.
Right.
Which was all you fucking needed.
Yeah.
Well, now you're getting into adding friends to the mix, and that's instantly what makes games more fun, is being able to play it.
Especially when you can all create
your own unique
version of you. Yes, 4 decently balanced archetypes.
Yeah.
I'm down with the complete creator.
Yeah.
Give me some visual overhauling.
Yeah.
Which they started to do in 3 a little bit, changing the weapon and armor sets what they look like. Anyways.
Yeah.
But okay, so we've got 4 classes. We've got character creation. We've got, let's stick with the traditional point and click. Everything.
Yeah, don't change it.
No reason to change it now. It ain't broke.
Give us some glorious writing and a reason to give a shit about the characters we encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do you think if they even do like a kind of like a cliffhanger? Like, when we get to the end of the game, knowing there's going to be expansion regardless, because that's how they did their style. Have it to where it's like, boom, and it cuts off to the point where, well, what's going to happen? You don't know what's going to happen.
I'm down
to sell it more for that cliffhanger.
Yeah, where it's and then that would almost guarantee a sold on the expansion.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, this expansion fills our plot holes.
This is an ending. You've got a complete ending. You can end your story here, or we can give you some more content and tie up some of our fuck ups. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but all expansions do that. Freaking some plot hole filling, which is great, but have a reason for that expansion.
Yes.
The expansion in Diablo 2 told its own unique story that's still tied into the original. At the original end of Diablo 2, it was a good solid ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
And then the expansion just brought it full fucking circle. Diablo 2 had that cliffhanger ending. Like, what the fuck happened to his brother? Are we going to deal with that problem, or is that somebody else's problem?
See? So,
I'm cool with it being somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
But I'm saying somebody, not me, should probably go deal with that.
Whereas 3's expansion brought a lot gameplay-wise, but the story was kind of like, okay, I got some more backstory on a few characters.
Yeah, and basically all it brought through is because it ended, you killed Diablo, and supposedly, in the end, you'll see Diablo again, and evil never dies. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that's the normal plot for anything.
Yeah.
And then when Reaper's Souls came out, I was kind of like, okay, how are they going to start this? Okay, the Grim Reaper decided to become evil and take the stone. Okay, cool. And next.
And here's something else that I've, and it's a minor fucking flaw. And again, Diablo 2, Diablo all have their fucking flaws, but so the secret cow level. For those that don't know about the secret cow level,
Read a book.
read a book.
Read the internet. Something.
Wikipedia. Something. So there was a long-standing rumor that Diablo had a secret cow level. That was the big fucking deal. Is that the original Diablo had a secret cow level?
Somebody even had photoshopped images, and that's how the rumor spread.
And it was a complete fucking lie.
Yep.
It never had it. So this is how good the original Blizzard team was.
Yeah.
They saw that the fans loved that idea and were like, you know what? We're doing it. And even in Warcraft 2, one of their cheat codes was there is no cow level.
Yep.
Was that 2 or was that the original StarCraft?
That was Warcraft 2.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay.
And I only know that because I played Warcraft way more than I played StarCraft.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
no, yeah. I was there for you.
So freaking they added that for the fans. That was for the fans.
Yeah, and see, that's where, you have that thing, even if it's rumors spread, it works. And even 3, it happened. When you had the level, it was literally called the no cow level.
Right. But
So-
at the same time, it's just kind of like, dude, get your own. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
The hinting at it with a secret cheat in one of their games and then actually making cow level in 2 was funny.
it was clever and funny.
Past that, nah, it's done.
It's
You're Rick rolling in the year 2016.
Yeah, no, that's true. Anyways, guys, so basically, I think that about wraps up what we're talking about today for Diablo. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and just tell us what you think. What was your favorite game? Was it even 1 or 2 or 3, or just the expansion? Or if you just hate the game, just tell us that.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Does gameplay drive you? Does story drive you? Which story did you enjoy the most?
Yeah.
There's not a wrong answer.
Nope.
No. So, thank you guys for coming out. This is Periovo signing off. See you guys next time.